welcome the Fartons. They enjoy coon hunting, tobacco chewing, and guzzling white lightning. He knew the way to her heart was through her stomach, so he put her engagement ring in a big mouth. And now, we have our second couple, Mr. and Mrs. Cherry. When they first met, she was a prostitute and he was a pimp. The reason for his proposal was to keep the money in the family. Now our last but not least couple are the Snodgrasses. They enjoy Trivial Pursuit, writing contests, and studying calculus in bed. Mildred's favorite saying is that he plays with his computer more than he plays with her. And now, contestants, since you're all seated, you shall ask the wives to please put on their noise blockers. Ready? You shall ask the first question to the husbands. The question is, what type of creature does your wife remind you of when she wakes up in the morning? Mrs. Farton?
Well, she reminds me of that old cow I used to have when I lived in Woodland.
Okay. Now, Mr. Cherry.
Well, my wife is definitely a night person, so she reminds me of a raccoon.
Okay. Now, Mr. Snodgrass.
What was the question?
What type of creature does your wife remind you of when she wakes up in the morning?
A bat.
Our second question. Mr. Farton, my wife has the biggest blank.
Biggest darn buttermilk biscuits at breakfast time.
Okay. Mr. Cherry?
Well, I did marry her to keep the money in the family. She has a very large income.
Okay. Now we go to Mr. Snodgrass.
What was the question?
My wife has the biggest...
She's got the biggest zit on her nose.
Okay. Now, husbands, will you please take the noise blockers off your wives? Now, wives, we have asked your husbands these questions, and if you get them right, it will be 5 points. Mrs. Farton, what type of creature do you remind your husband of when you wake up in the morning?
Read that question again.
What type of creature does your wife, do you remind your husband of when you wake up in the morning?
Well, knowing his sense of humor, he would, is it a cow?
You're right, Mrs. And now we go to the Cherries. Mrs. Cherry?
Well, knowing that I go from place to place a lot, it'd have to be a bunny rabbit.
I'm sorry, you got that one wrong. Now we go to the Snodgrasses. Mr. Snodgrass, what type of creature do you remind your husband when you wake up in the morning? I hate it when he calls me a bat. That's right. And now, we have a second question.
Get that calculator.
Mrs. Farton, your husband's question was, my wife has the biggest...
It's got to be my time because I'm fixing to have one to do it.
Well, I'm sorry. It's wrong.
Don't hit me, Mom.
Mrs. Cherry.
Well, since I make more than he would ever make, it'd have to be my income.
That's right. Y'all got that one right.
That's all right.
Now we go to the wonderful Snodgrasses. Snodgrass.
I've awfully big feet, but I grew this big old zit.
That's right. Now, we'll go to the bonus round.
We're gonna win this.
Husband, will you please put on the noise blockers?
Yeah, put it on.
Are you ready, Mrs. Snodgrass?
Yes.
Okay. Wives, the bonus question is, your husband is so picky, he makes you blank before you come to bed. Yes, Mr. Clark.
Well, he's such a picky man. I mean, well, he really, but, I would say milk old Bessie. I have
Okay.
milk Bessie for no baby.
Mrs. Cherry, your husband.
Well, my husband has this thing for cleanliness, and so he makes me polish the whips every night.
Mrs. Snodgrass, your husband is so picky. What does he make you do before you come to bed?
Well, everything. But he always makes me for certain that I turn off the B23 Apple II computer.
Okay. Now, wives, will you please take the noise blockers off your husbands? Okay, husbands, your wife's question was, now this is the bonus round. Whoever gets it right will win. You're so picky. You make your wife blank before she comes to bed.
I always make water my indoor tomato plants.
Sorry, you got that wrong. Now, we go to the cherries.
Well, usually we're going to bed pretty late, and after a hard night's work, it's terrible to get into bed with dirty whips lying around. We always polish the whips.
Okay, you got that one right. Now, Mr. Snodgrass, if you get this one right, you shall win the game and the old clunker sitting out in the parking lot. Mr. Snodgrass?
I make her turn off the B23 Apple II computer.